Brooklyn, New York. Live from Brooklyn, New York. Textiles, Brooklyn. It's 360. What's really what it is. 'Cause there's definitely no fake news over here. No fake news, no fake news. Battle rap, reality. Ha ha ha. From my opinion, the opinion, the thought patterns. So look, I was in a discussion last night with a couple of people from the battle rap community, bloggers in particular, a couple bloggers, different views. Everybody, pretty much objective in their own way. And we had a couple talks. We had a couple different discussions about like who won this battle, who won that battle. And a lot of viewpoints of a lot of people, no matter where they stand, whether it's BRC or BRC or whatever, they all vary. They all vary, So one of the things I want to do is to step out on my own to basically let you know what my take is and things of that nature. So I'm going to create another channel. And I didn't even know that that's what I was going to talk about when I got on here. I'm going to make another channel. That way, I really know like who's who, as far as my subscribers and so forth and the third, you know what I mean? Like, I want to make another channel started from scratch, so it's not going to be, I'm not going to be able to go live from the phone. I can go live from the laptop and stuff like that, live from desktop. So that'd be cool. However, we want to get it concentrated and get the focus right. We want to clean it up. We want to clean it up. So basically, that's the focus. That's the focus. How's your day going? Hope you're having the best day ever. All right, it's a bit cloudy out here, a bit humid out here in Brooklyn. If you're out here in Brooklyn, you know what I mean. So we'll be talking about that. I make these videos and sometimes I forget what I title them. Then I can't see the title when I'm on here. So it's like I get like my attention span is really short. So it's like I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I could really just start talking about anything. But I can't remember what I really, I know bars is one of the things I wanted to talk about. So, and I don't want to keep this, video going for too longer. Just want to mention some bars real quick, like bars. Like, yeah, well, all right. Well, yeah, we could start there. I've seen a lot of people talking about it. I didn't want to be, all on it too. But Angry Fan 007 mentioning Cassidy and Mook. They're not writing their rap for today. Or what's that Battle Tree? I believe it was Battle Tree. It says, they're not writing these raps for today, right? I'm like, I don't. These false narratives have no validity to them. And here's my challenge: when you make these claims, show and prove by pulling up the footage. People run away from footage. That's what I noticed. Like the other day, I was having a conversation about whether or not Cassidy had 5,000 battles. And it was like, he's saying this. Meanwhile, Goods just had a video telling his people around him so that way they don't get it confused, because people know that we're in an era where people do their research. They're going to fact check, So when the people saying he said, meaning Cassidy, saying that he 5,000 or 5,002 or what have you, that he's this and that, but let me cut you off. He's not saying it didn't come from him directly. It came from Meek Mill. Now people are always running for validity, right? For validation from different sources. So Meek Mill had the video somewhere online that I still haven't seen. This is just what I heard. And Meek Mill said that Cassidy battled like 5,000 times and smoked everybody. Battled on the radio. So the people around me are like, Battle where we never seen it. Battle where we never seen it. So I'm saying to you, I can't argue with you. You're a plain fool. You don't want to see it. You don't. You want to talk and want to argue. And this is what people who blog, in my opinion, who don't make sense, who don't use their use proofs, use evidence to back up their claims, right? Conversation is trumped by documentation every day, right? So uh, if I say Loaded Lux beat a verb, I'm gonna say, you're gonna say how he won. How? I'm gonna say, well, this is how I rate the battle. This is why I rate the battle in this certain way, and here's how I have the winner, right? So in my case, you could think about it as if it was like boxing for me, right? How many punches were thrown? And punches doesn't necessarily have to mean punch lines. It just means how many times did somebody shoot their shot at spinning something that made me want to go, ooh, ah, or to make a point or what have you, right? So that's a punch thrown to me in boxing, in battle rap, right? So when somebody does that, I count that as a punch thrown. Now, if it lands, and depending on how it lands, is how I determine what type of punch it was. Like whether it was a jab or a haymaker or a hook or an uppercut, or by the timing of the punch, what it was. You know what I mean? So, like for an example, when Lux says Whitney do in Houston, that ball, that to me was like a mega, not a knockout punch, but one of those punches that send you to the ropes. Like, like if you ever play Fight Night, you know, I got shout out to the gamers out there, right? If you ever play Fight Night, there's a point when you punch a dude and it's like the ding, it rings his bell, bing, it goes like, oh my goodness. And now if you get the right punches going on after that, then comes the knockout. It could be one punch, it could be a combination, but you gotta take it, you gotta put that work in after you hit him with that stunner. You know what I mean? So here's another example. Danny Myers was on the ropes, in my opinion, right? Against Franchise, right? And if you haven't seen that battle, check that battle out, right? Danny Myers was on the rope against Franchise. He stumbled in the third round, choked in the third round. So here's now the chance, if I wanna make the analogy of boxing, right? For Franchise to come in and take Danny Myers down, pause, right? To the finish him, right? But he didn't. He didn't. He let his foot off the gas. He took his foot off his neck. We say the same thing in basketball. You might have an opponent down. He might miss a shot. He might be injured. And now you got the ball. And instead of driving to the basket, taking advantage of a weak leg or whatever that might be going on, you take a wild, crazy jump shot off balance and miss. And they end up getting a rebound. You understand what I'm talking about? Taking your foot off your gas, dropping the ball. These are things that happen in battles. And this is how I come up with my different scores. You understand? So as far as the Cassidy and Goods battle, just to rehash that again, Cassidy threw way more punches, took way more shots at Goods in the first round than probably Goods did in the whole battle versus Cassidy. So like in the boxing world, if somebody swings at you 99 times and hits you 45 times, and you only swing 50 times and land 4 punches, if you're not Mike Tyson or Deontay Wilder, which in the case of battle rap Goods is neither, there's no way you're winning this fight. There's no way you're winning that fight. So from that alone, there was no way for him to win, in my opinion. And the other aspect was that there were low blows thrown by Goods, meaning the 10-4s, in my opinion. Like for example, the bar from Fred the Godson, the Alicia Keys bar, which was so much of a 10-4 to me that pretty much canceled him from even having a chance to win a third round, right? Because to me that bar was hyped up by the crowd, right? And was a low blow, meaning that it wasn't like a clean shot, like it wasn't like it was a low blow, like in the sense of a haymaker, A low blow in the sense of an illegal shot, meaning that you took advantage of a slow crowd, right? In a sense, because if you're judging a battle, let's just say, let me bring it this way. If you're Dr. J and Dominic Wilkins and Shaq and Isaiah Thomas, and you're judging the dunk contest, and somebody starts the dunk contest off and they jump from the free throw line and they dunk the ball. And if they do it with no flair, with no sauce, just regular dunking, are they getting a 50? Are they getting a 50? They're not getting a 50 for just straight jumping from the free throw line and catching a dunk, right? No, right? So now what if they come back on it again and do that same dunk again? You'd be like, wait a minute, wait. No, matter of fact, what if the next person comes and do that dunk, they dunk behind them and doesn't even do as good? Like, what are you going to give that person? You're going to give that person a lower rating, right? So when I know that Fred the Godson has a bar out there where he says they don't know the slick bomber, I switch rap for keys like Swiss did Mashonda. Was he dissing Cassidy? No, he was talking about himself and bringing up and using wordplay in regards to a current event at the time. It was current. It was 9 years ago. Mashonda and Swiss Beats, not being together, what have you. So if we want to claim a bar is outdated, what's the timestamp on outdated bars? Because 9 years ago is when Fred the Godson said, I switched rap for keys like Swiss did Mashonda, and Goods turns around and says, I would have left my chick for some keys too. Like, I'm like Swiss Beats because I'd have left my chick for some keys too. That bar has nothing to do with Cassidy. Like, that's like if anybody want to say what mixtape bars are in battle rap, that's a mixtape bar. Because you're not talking about Cassidy or directly to him, yet they say the Cassidy bars are not direct. How you say Cassidy bars is not direct? Like, give me an example. The best examples I heard were from Math Hoffa, where he said that he wasn't directly direct because he was metaphorically direct. But that to me is almost like, Math, you could get away with that. You could get away with saying that because you could say how it translated in the room, right? So like if this red and black car right here, you know what I'm saying? If I said something about a falcon, a dirty bird dropping shit on here, but you know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, yo, this red and black car. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, damn, he got to be simple like that? Like, nah, man. No. We not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, just want to hop on here for a hot minute, man, talk some shit. I'll be back later. We're going to make some things happen. You know what I mean? Salute to y'all for popping out. Salute to my homie Augustine, JC. I see y'all. You know what I mean? We out here making it happen.